Going to the game tonight?
The Mariners?
Yeah.
For sure. Go M's. I'll be watching. I mean, I got to do some work myself because I got a big meeting tomorrow for my team. But good for the Mariners. I'm a Seattle guy.
Yeah, you are. Speaking of meetings,
Sonics.
Storm.
Always want to bring up the Sonics. Storm. Yeah. Okay. All right, we can keep going on this, or do you want to get soccer?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I was gonna segue to, speaking of big meetings, you got a Sunday. Every game is big, but how was the practice this week? And then just preparing for Sunday.
Well, today was our first day, and all the starters were in the tent regenning. So it was just a training session for Jordan. Will didn't feature at San Jose, Ethan, Reed, some of the guys, so just to keep them sharp. But as far as preparation for Colorado, most of it's physical recovery, because look, we've been going pretty hard. And so we had actually today planned to be out here on the field, but we said, no, let's just keep them in the gym, let's keep them in recovery. So I think that's a smart move.
What's that? No, go ahead. We can rotate. Go ahead.
I just wanted to get a health update on Raul and
Sure.
anyone else that may have been hurt in that game.
Yeah, so Raul will be listed as questionable for the game on Sunday. He's feeling a little better, but it's still, niggly. He's got a little pain in there, so we got to be careful because, look, the worst thing we could do is roll him out there when he's not feeling right, and then he gets a significant injury. So for us, the way we're dealing with it is he's going to be listed day to day. And look, if he says he's good and he feels good and the doctor is okay, then of course we'd love him to play. But again, I'm confident with Will, Freddie. We've got options. Leo Chu, I saw your little piece on Leo. I mean, we've got options.
So his ability to travel for Peru is not affected as of yet.
Well, we don't have any say in that, Jeremiah. I mean, Peru can call him in whether he's slightly injured or not, and then their doctors have to make that determination as to whether he's fit to play for them. We have no control over that.
I'd be remiss not to ask about the NWSL goings
Yeah.
on. Just kind of your thoughts on the reports that have come out. Have you talked to Laura Harvey?
No, I've not reached out. I have not reached out to anybody, Mickey, probably because, look, I read the article. It was a good article in The Athletic. It was a good piece. It was a long piece. My wife and I discussed it. She read it. And so we talked about it. But I'm not up to date on all of the details. I just read the article. Now, what I would say is a lot of that stuff was very disturbing. I mean, what I read was very disturbing. And I take that a little personally because, look, as a coach, that trust that you have with the player has to, it has to be there. That relationship between coach and player is very sacred, at least in my household. And, I think everybody deserves a safe working environment. So, it's pretty disturbing. And I hope, Mickey, that the people above me, the leaders of the NWSL, I hope they get it right. They have to.
Brian talked a little bit. There was a post game about Christian going into the box as a runner. When he's doing that, how are you all able to cover the space that he's vacated?
Well, we have two young kids there, Danny and Josh, that did a pretty good job of that. We have 5 at the back, so even though Medranda got the assist, and Leo Chu might have been fouled on that play. It could have been a penalty on that play. But, Christian goes in the box. We've got cover. Normally with our wingback system, if one guy goes, the other guy gets in the box if you're feeling good about the game and stuff like that. If there's an away game, a tough game, maybe the one outside back's all the way up there and the other guy's kind of top of the box to cover any knockdowns. I mean, it all varies from game to game and play to play. But I was very pleased with Medranda, very pleased with Christian's movement in the box. He's on a little goal-scoring streak, so good for him.
I guess the best way for me to ask that is how has that communication evolved in your midfielders when they are kind of moving in and out from when you first implemented the system?
Well, I think again, Christian has been doing that, whether it's 4-2-3-1 or 3-4-2-1. You know, whatever position we play, Christian's tendencies are he likes to get in behind on that right-hand side, or now a little more centrally. And people have always covered for that. I mean, JP is in the conversation for league MVP because of what? Because he does such a great job covering, and he's smart, he knows what's going on. So a lot of ways you can skin that.
Steph talked about how Josh Atencio has grown as a kid into a veteran player this year. How have you seen that take effect?
Well, he's only 19, so I wouldn't call him a veteran yet. But certainly he is showcasing his abilities in a good way, in a positive way. You know, I go back to the growth of 2020 and COVID being such a messed up year. But it actually was a great year for Josh because he was with us in our little bubble, and I think he learned a lot. And he was in that environment, and he just kind of felt it, and he kind of just took off. So all credit to the kid, all credit to, you know, the guys that have coached him along the way. He's turned into a really good player.
We started by talking about Mariners. I'd love your take on how the Mariners have touched you as somebody who grew up in the city and has been following.
Well, I'm old enough to remember '95. Griffey, like, you know, everybody piling on. Yeah, I remember all that. I was at the Sonics parade when they won the championship. I've been to a lot of Seahawk games, Husky games, Storm games. I mean, I'm a Seattle guy.
As a Seattle head coach to Seattle head coach, what would you say to Scott Service going into the
Just keep it going. Just one more game. Next man up. I think he says some of that stuff. I love the little tap in with the believe sign. I mean, that's kind of a soccer reference, isn't it? Because of the TV show. So it's all good.
How's Jordan doing? Did expect him to be in more training here in the next couple of days?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
in the next week?
Yep. Same thing. I mean, I laugh and joke with him every day. Is today going to be the day? He says, the doctors, you know, he blames his dad. You know. But he's getting close, Mickey.
How did Jimmy and Christian come out of that game?
Good.
Good.
Christian had cramps. He's fine. Precautionary. Jimmy was, you know, just because Brad is listed as out, so I need to make sure that he's ready to go. No worries there. Javi, same. Precautionary. All the subs, just rotation.
I know you. One of the things I asked you about after the game was if you thought this was maybe your most complete performance. You wanted to kind of take some time to look at the film and get back. So, I mean, looking back on it, did it feel like one of your more complete performances?
What I would say it was one of. I wouldn't call it our best, Jeremiah. There were still some things that I would have maybe nitpicked a little bit because, you know, that's my job. But certainly was a stellar performance. Look, we took the goal, right? We took the goal that they scored. I mean, yeah, we would have liked to shut out, but that was just kind of a weird play. It deflected actually off JP's foot first, and then Shane, and then into the goal. So tactically, what did we do wrong on that play? Not much. But defensively, we were very good, very organized. San Jose had been putting up big numbers offensively. So that wasn't an easy opponent, and we gave up that goal. And then offensively, I think we're finding our groove with Christian and, you know, trying to incorporate the two forwards. You know, Freddie was maybe a little bit higher up, not necessarily a house, maybe a skewed house. So things are coming together.
Colorado, you guys had a tough matchup with them down Colorado, but got a result. What have you seen from them over the last, say, couple of weeks, and what do you expect?
Very consistent team. You know, Bruce Arena is probably going to get the Coach of the Year award. His team is fantastic. But I always like to talk about the teams that might not be big teams or big budget teams and stuff like that. And Robin Frazier's done a tremendous job with that group. They believe they can win. They're nipping at our heels, at Sporting KC's heels. I mean, he's done a super job of just being very consistent. He's got a back line of 5 or 3, whatever you guys want to call it. They're very solid defensively. Barrios has had a good year. You know, they've got good players. They're doing it by committee. You know, who's their star? Price? Is he their star? Is he their big money guy? I don't know. He's the leader of their group probably, but he's doing it by committee. The team's committed, so kudos to him.
Just human nature, I can see how coming off of a rough 6 game, you played a ton of games over the last 6 games. The last 4 have been on the road. You go into this last game of this 7 games in 23 days. I would imagine that human nature is you maybe let up a little bit, but that you have the second place team in the league or coming up. How does that change?
You're
things?
jinxing us now for a bad performance. You're jinxing us now for a bad performance now that you asked that question. So if we don't have a good result, I'm going to blame him.
Okay.
The guys are up for it, Jeremiah. I repeated my message about let's not let the good effort against Kansas City be wasted in a midweek against San Jose. Let's not let the good effort of Kansas City and San Jose catch us on Sunday. Let's not waste the whole effort of a season that has been filled with plenty of challenges. Let's not waste it by, underperforming these last few games of the regular season, especially at home. We want to get back to being good at home. That's the message.
A little off topic a little bit, but everybody that's played right wing back for you this year, and even down with Defiance, is somebody who's converted from an attacking midfielder at some point in their career. What is it about the organization that's taken and converted Alex, a little bit of Kellen, Ethan, even Issa and Ray, from being good attacking players to this wingback that, in Alex's case, was all-star quality?
No idea, Dave. I mean, could be circumstantial. I know it's not something that we're looking to do with every player. Each player is on a case-by-case basis. The players that you listed are all talented kids. How they fit in, where they fit in, it's just, look, we tried to do it with Henry and it didn't work out, and now he's having a bunch of success at the club he's at. I don't think there's any trend there. I think just individual cases. We do the best we can. We coach them up to the best of our ability, and then the players have to come through.
With Ethan's case, he said that he leans a lot on Alex for learning how to do that conversion.
I love that. I love the fact that those kids are talking. That again shows you the tight locker room that we have.